Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's so good to be here with all of you. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Julie Fishbach. I'm a rabbinical student studying at Hebrew Union College in Los Angeles. I'm here once a month, and I'm really, really honored to be able to share Shabbat with all of you this evening. I want to acknowledge that it has been a hard week or a hard couple of weeks for many Jews, for many people around the world, not just Jews, though certainly our community is feeling it very hard. Whatever you're coming in here with tonight, whatever week you've had, whatever news headlines you've been clicking refresh on constantly, Shabbat is here. Shabbat is here and allows us to take a break for really this hour of services, but actually the next 24, 25 hours, we get to do a full reset. So Shabbat is here, and we're very grateful that you're here to experience it with us. We're gonna try to tap into as much joy as possible tonight. We're gonna continue our service with Lecha Dodi on page 20. This melody might be new to all of you. It's from Nava Tehillah, which is a singing and spiritual community in Jerusalem. So we'll do the first bit at the top of page 20, the Lecha Dodi, a couple times in a row so that everyone can get a feel for it before we continue on with verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. So really excited to welcome in Shabbat together. And before we do that, it wouldn't be Shabbat without lighting our Shabbat candles. Here I am jumping into joy, and we haven't even brought in the light yet, getting my order all mixed up. We have a very, very special role for Mira Adler, who is going to light our Shabbat candles for us. Please come on up and lead us in the blessing, which is on pages 2 and 3. You can rise if you would like.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we by our own day be among those who kindle light, the source of light of truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we all speak from our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us into acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. The candles had a tough week too. Yes. We can all relate. Amen, amen. Thank you so, so much. It would not be Shabbat without a little extra light in the world. So we're going to continue to welcome Shabbat, the Sabbath bride. with Now Lecha Dodi on page 20. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Let's try that together. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el ha'milchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha ki hi mekor ha'beracha. Mirosh mikedem nesuka sof ma'aseh b'machshava tila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi uri. Uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvsot olam toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. We take a moment to gather in the rest of Shabbat. We just had this imagery of a bride walking down the aisle towards us, that we now get to gather in the more aqueous aspects of Shabbat. We have blessings coming up for light and for love that are alluded to all throughout the imagery, that really we're gathering in a time of joy, a respite from the week, patting ourselves so that we have enough joy and strength to keep going into the week coming. So we are going to rise again for the Baruch Hu on page 28 and spend some time in the prayers after that. It's such a miracle that our week exists in these cycles, and not just our week, but our day does as well. So on page 30, Hamariv Aravim, we're gonna step into our Nusach again, our special Shabbat melody that mirrors the setting sun, that lets us place ourselves not just in the sense of the day, but in the sense of the week, in the month, how the melodies inform where we are in this world. So you can take a moment or two to read through the prayer at your own pace, or if it so moves you or feels like a better fit, the poems and offerings on page 31 on the other side, and we'll continue together on the bottom, noting that the stars are arranged in their heavenly course according to plan. We roll away light from darkness, darkness from light, transforming day into night, distinguishing one from the other. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim. We turn the page. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot. There are so many ways that we're loved in this world. We feel it when we lie down and when we rise up. We'll rejoice in the gifts we have been given. Reflect on them day and night. It's really, really incredible how much love there is in the world. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam ve'layla, ve'ahavtacha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We're going to take a breath for each word of the Shema and really feel grounded in this moment. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Bevshivtecha, beveitecha, uvlechtecha, vaderech, uvshochbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kidoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Continue on page 40 with Micha Mocha. We hold on to all of that light and love and joy and sense of freedom that we've gathered, and we help it build for us a Sukkot Shalom, a sukkah of peace, noting that it's not some huge fortress of peace, not a building of peace, but a really fragile structure. That peace is never something guaranteed, but something we can still find solace in as a community. We're gonna pop back into our nusach, into that setting sun melody. And if you want, you can reflect on a time this week where you felt held. We say that God wraps us in these wings, like wings of peace. What thing from this week made you feel part of that metaphor? What made you feel held this week? Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechayim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam Baruch atah Adonai haparei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 44. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheish yad yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheish yad yamim asa Adonai. We just did that part, but we're still really grateful for the heavens and the earth. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat va'inafash, Shabbat va'inafash, Shabbat va'inafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Nothing like a good cliffhanger before we enter into our private prayer. We're going to go ahead and stand on up or rise in whatever sense you are able. This is our time where we've done all the praying together. We've grounded ourselves in a place, in a time, in this precious moment of Shabbat. And we're going to enter into our own conversation with the divine. So we'll start all together, and then we'll have some time to explore the prayers on your own or speak the words of your heart. And we will come back together on page 63. So we are starting on page 46. And if you'd like, you can take a few steps forward and a few steps back to symbolize entering into this time of prayer. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim berofeh kolim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato mishenei afar. Mikamocha bal givurot, umido melech, melech mevit umekayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lekachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim v'kol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yoshvei tevel ve'imru We now enter into our Torah service. Always exciting when the Torah comes out. We love the Torah. I'm going to invite up Mike to come on and grab our Torah from the ark. We rise when the Torah rises. Thank you. You may be seated for our Aliyah tonight. Well, first, our Torah reading tonight is the story of Noah and the great flood. And so in order to balance out our story where everything in the earth is wiped out completely, I'd like to invite up for this Aliyah anyone who has experienced something joyful in their lives in the past month or so. So if you have had a great joy in your family, whether that could be a birth or a marriage, an anniversary, an engagement, or if there's just something that's really bringing you joy, maybe, I don't know, maybe you baked some really wonderful cookies yesterday, something that's making you happy today, I'd love to invite you up for this Aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hamelach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher borach banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch ata Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Ele toldot Noach, Noach ish tzadik, tamim haya bedorotav, et ha'Elohim hitalech Noach, vayoled Noach shlosha banim, et Shem, et Cham, ve'et Yafet. Vatishachet ha'aretz lifnei ha'Elohim, vatimalei ha'aretz chamas. Vayar Elohim et ha'aretz v'hinei nishchata, ki hashchit kol basar, et darko al ha'aretz.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. 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 Thank you all so much for coming up here. If you'd like to stick around for just a moment and share with the community what it is that has brought you joy lately, we would all benefit from hearing about your joy. Michael, tell us.
I celebrated my 81st birthday last week.
Wow, an 81st birthday. Happy birthday.
My daughter moved to New York to go to college, and she's enjoying her life tremendously.
Wow. Mazel tov.
Yes.
Go ahead, Paul.
I had my 77th birthday yesterday.
Mazel tov. Happy birthday.
My son's now in the from the Naval Academy after being officially the Marine, so he's sticking with the Marines.
Wow.
My daughter's now celebrating 2 years sobriety.
Wow, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you.
And our son Jeremy arrived in Israel on Monday morning and will be there for 5 months DJing for the Israeli national volleyball team.
Impressive. Thank you all so much. May your joy spread out into everyone's lives. While the Torah is out, we acknowledge that it's a witness not just to our joy, but to our hopes and our uncertainties. So with this beautiful witness before us, I'd like to offer a space for the Misha Beirach, our prayer for healing. So tonight, our community is especially thinking of the following people for a refuah shlema, a speedy healing. Barbara Becker, Earl Benton, Irene Borses, Evie Bourne, Mike Capsuto, Wendy Cohen, Judith DePerry, Larry Eck, Richard Eckelman, Christine Garasek, Faith Hirschler, Alsena Hogue, Susan Kibble, Cindy Colson, Shannon Lauren, Ennis Marcus, Annette McDaniel, Sarah McRobbie, Terry O'Brien, Steve Ostrin, Avi Perry, Stu Fouts, Gary Romanek, Ronald Ross, Maria Weinberg-Schar, Maury Schulman, Tara Shenson-Smith, Marlene Turgell-Smith, Leslie Wheatley, Christine Wofford, Betty Wood, Pablo X, David Zutz, Sarah Bat Elisheva, Esther Malka, Hannah Batya Ruth. If there are other names you're thinking of, someone who's healing you're keeping in your heart, please feel free to share their name aloud when my hand moves across the room. Mishem bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Amen. I'd now like to invite up Al for our Hagba, our lifting of the Torah. Please rise. I'm really glad that we got to honor a bit of the joy in this community, because it's certainly been a challenging few weeks. Like you, I read the news with horror on Simchat Torah that Hamas had carried out a massacre in Israel. My days since then have been filled with memorials, with sitting with my rabbinical school classmates, some of whom lost family in the attacks, and with checking in with my friends in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, who have spent much of their time living in bomb shelters. And maybe also, like many of you, I have spent way too much time reading the news, seeing devastating images of Israeli and Palestinian children impacted by war. So it feels fitting that this week we read the story of Noah and the flood that wipes out nearly the entire world. Noah is a fascinating character, perhaps first because of his name. Names carry significant weight in the Torah and often describe something about its owner's current life circumstance while predicting something else about their future. For example, Moshe, who comes along much, much later in our story, will be given his name by Pharaoh's daughter when she pulls him out of the Nile because the word limshot means to draw out. This name defines Moses' childhood while also hinting that he will be the one to draw the Israelites out of Egypt. So Noah's name, Noach, can mean comfortable, easy, or pleasing, and it comes from the word lanuach, meaning to rest. It makes sense that someone pleasing would have found favor with God, and that a name indicative of rest would foreshadow a story in which survival depends on hunkering down for an extended period of time. So the curious thing about Noah is not that he pleases God, but rather the context in which he does so. The first line of his story, which we just read, describes Noah as an ish tzadik tamim haya bedorotav, a righteous man of his generation. Initially, this sounds like a lovely way to describe someone who is spared destruction by an angry God. But throughout Jewish history, our sages have read this line as something a little less glamorous, likely because of the tragedies that they experienced in their own lives. While 3,000 years ago, the ancient Israelites and their descendants were relatively powerful and controlled the temple in Jerusalem, the rabbis of the Mishnah, Talmud, and beyond lived in an era of exile and persecution. And their commentary on the Torah is sometimes still considered just as sacred as the Torah itself. So it's amazing that some of these wise rabbis interpret this line, that Noah was righteous of his generation, as a way of saying that Noah was only righteous compared to the evil of his generation. That had he lived at the same time as Abraham, Noah would not have been considered righteous at all. So what is it about Abraham that makes thousands of years' worth of sages feel ambivalent towards Noah? Remember, this is Noah who, when faced with the destruction of the world, saves everyone he loves and follows God's exact command. Abraham, it turns out, makes a different choice. In 2 weeks, we will read Parshat Vayera, where God reveals the plan to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of its evil inhabitants. As angels of destruction rush out to the cities, the Torah says that Avraham odenu omed lifnei Adonai. Abraham stood his ground before God and asked God to reconsider. He wonders hurriedly, anxiously, if the innocent will be destroyed along with the wicked. What if I find there are 50 innocent people? Abraham asks. God hears him out and agrees not to destroy the cities if Abraham finds 50. And so Abraham replies, I know that you, God, are all powerful, and I'm just this little tiny speck of dust and ashes, but what if the 50 lack 5? And so God agrees not to destroy the cities if there are 45 innocent people. And Abraham keeps pushing and pushing, getting God to reconsider, asking about 40 innocent people, then 30, then 10. And God, now slightly removed from great anger, agrees. This, our tradition teaches, is why Abraham is a tzaddik, a righteous one for all time, and why Noah is a tzaddik bedorotav, righteous only in his generation. We learned together a few weeks ago that true justice, tzedek, is repeated twice because it requires the combination of strict law and compassionate mercy, which Abraham, even while fearing for himself and his family, is able to tap into. Abraham, whose name means chosen, shows that in being chosen by God, he chooses to advocate for the innocent who are also trapped in the midst of evil. As Israel prepares this week for a ground invasion of Gaza, I worry that we will stop at Noah's example rather than grow throughout our history and reach Abraham's. I want to be clear that there is nothing wrong with Noah or anyone focusing on saving their family. Noah, who is pleasing to God, is a comfort to his relatives and to all creatures that he has taken in. Noah is still righteous and still admirable, considering that in a time of destruction, we contend with our own grief. But we must maintain a sense of tzedek, of justice and of mercy, so that Noach, that feeling of comfort and pleasantness, doesn't morph into Noach, the comfort with whatever option is easiest. This Shabbat, I pray. I pray for the immediate release of the captives. I pray for my friends huddled in bomb shelters. And I pray, too, for a humanitarian corridor to open in Gaza, for a ceasefire, for the strength to be like Abraham, remembering that humanity still is found in places where there is evil. At the end of this flood story, God lays down an archer's bow in the sky so that the next time evil abounds, God will pause and remember not to retaliate with total destruction. People say that violence is the last resort, but we see in this story that it's actually the first. The rainbow is the last resort. May it bring us peace, and may it bring it soon. Shabbat Shalom. We turn in our prayer books to page 282, the Aleinu, where it says, it's on us, all upon Enu, us. It's on us to make the world a better place. Please rise. You may be seated. Our thoughts and our prayers turn now to those who are with us in mind but not in body. For the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, we are especially thinking today of those who are in their period of Shloshim within 30 days from the death of a loved one. And this community is thinking of Michael Spencer, son of Mimi and Jay Spencer, brother of Melissa Spencer, father of Sierra Rose and Madison Jay. Marlene Perutka, wife of Dale Perutka, mother of Carrie Lustig and Jeff Perutka, grandmother of Brady and Kobe Lustig. Marilyn Simons, sister of Michael and Judy Simons. Elaine Davis, sister of Linda McHaney and aunt of Lisa Olson. Bill Douglas, husband of Gail Douglas, father of Andy and Michael Douglas, and grandfather of Aaliyah, Robert, and Will. Richard Leibowitz, uncle of Dr. Sean Sagan. Howard Brightman, uncle of Paul Horn, Devin Berman, and great uncle of Tara Horn. Eric Winston, cousin of Alan and Carrie Osborne. Cyrus Ahubim, father of Orna and Adam Lang, and grandfather of Ben and Corey and Ella Lang. Gary Cannon, friend of Jenna and Sean Sagan. Mackenzie Conway, sister of Debbie and Lonnie Pinkham. We are also remembering tonight these yard sites. Esther Burns, mother of Joyce Fruchter. Lori Cable, wife of Dr. William Cable. Rebecca Dworkowitz, grandmother of Mrs. Sherry Neft. Sadie Einstein, grandmother of Gary Einstein. Henry Fendel, uncle of Miss Robin Einstein. Dennis Flanagan, father of Annalise Flanagan Frankel. Sam Friedman, cousin of Ms. Rosalind Whitesides. Max Gold, Bertha Rothfeld Goldberg, mother of Barbara Shostak. Ethel Goldberg, Doris Goldman, aunt of Mr. Steve Maybaum. Irving Hoppin, remembered by Mr. Martin Heimlich. Rabbi Nehemiah Kibble, brother of Mike Kibble. Morris Kibble, father of Mike Kibble. Ida Leibowitz, mother of Mrs. Marion Benson. Ida Markowitz, grandmother of Mrs. Susan Kibble. Mildred Markowitz, mother of Morton Markowitz. Irving Mitnick, father of Linda Senner. Ida Olschwang, mother of Mr. Alan Olschwang. Tom Romano, father of Josette Schwartz. Harold B. Rosenberg, father of Mrs. Grace Brodsky. Betty N. Rubin, mother of Mrs. Renee Hagan. Bernard L. Werner, grandfather of Mr. Darrell Neft. If you are observing a yard site tonight that was not listed and would like to share a name, or if someone is especially on your heart tonight, you can share their name as my hand passes across the room. We rise in support of our community and for those who don't have anyone to say Kaddish for them. You're on page 294. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam U'amei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. We turn now to Brian, who has some announcements to share with us.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Brian Offner. I'm a member of the Board of Directors, and I'm here to wish all of you a happy Shabbat Shalom. We do have quite a few guests here tonight, so I'd just like to say thank you for coming tonight, and if you have any questions afterwards, I'll be in the back at the ONIG. Hopefully you'll join us. We also have other board members, which Richard's here, and so is Mike. We'd like to share with you what we call our community, so that would be nice if you can talk to us. And I'm noticing a lot of faces I haven't seen before as well, maybe because I'm not coming to temple enough. So, but welcome everyone that's here tonight. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Julie. I'd like to thank Arnold in the back over there, as well as Howard in the lobby, protecting us on these days of awareness, I would have to say. Also, there's quite a few events going on. One of the things that I'm noticing that part of the board and everything is that we're trying to do a lot more educational series here. And so as you can see in your pamphlet, oh, and by the way, hello everyone in Cyberland over there as well. So Cantor Jenna has a online Torah session, and it's every other, I believe it's every other Saturday, because it's not tomorrow, so it's got to be next week. It's every Saturday, but she's off this week. Is that what it, okay, so it's every Saturday. It's at 9:15 cbtzoom.org. Also, Cantor Jenna is also leading Lunch and Learn with the Cantors, singing songs and music. Sean Sagan is leading our Religion and Judaism in America class as well. So please join us. We are here every Shabbat, and on that note, I would like to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, and hopefully you'll join us in the Oneg afterwards. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. We're going to close out together with Oseh Shalom, and after that, we'll have any kids who are here lead us in Kiddush and Motzi before we continue on to our Oneg. So let's gather in all of that peace, all of that joy that we built up tonight, and close out together. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Up any kids, any B'nai Mitzvah students, if you're here, come on up. We would love to have you lead us in Kiddush and Motzi, and then we'll make our way onto Oneg.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Beshabbat kocho, be'ahavat u'ratzon hin hilanu, zikaron lama'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom